Shorty Mona Lisa, I'ma play her like I'm violent. I feel like the island, we gon' take her to the island.
Check this out. There's been a big discussion. This came out, right? And it says Caitlin Clark took the WNBA by storm as a rookie. Paige Bueckers is too. If you look at the rookie stats comparison through 9 games between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers. Through 9 games so far, you know, if you go according to the statistics, Paige Bueckers having a better rookie season. Now y'all know I'm a Fever fan, but I show love to all the players and I always give credit where it's due. Paige been hooping. I gotta give it to her. Yo, she been hooping. She had this one move the other game. This one right here. Yeah, it was this one right here. Yeah, this is ironically on Kate Martin. This was so cold to me. So he been getting to it. You know, I gotta give credit where it's due. Now, there's a couple things I want you guys to remember. And, you know, people are having like a good debate about this. I think last season the Fever were 1-9 or 1-8 through the first 9 games or something like that. But we also have to keep in mind, they played probably the hardest schedule. They had to play like 11 games in 20 days or something, some crazy mad schedule because the WNBA commissioner, they knew Caitlin Clark was a cash cow for the W, so they wanted her to be in as many games as possible so the W makes money. And on top of that, I don't think any player in women's history, not even talking about just basketball, just women's history, you know, as far as sports, dealt with as much weight on her shoulders as Caitlin. Like the weight Caitlin's dealing with is on damn near LeBron level. That's not a crazy thing to say. Paige she's kind of had a great welcome to the league. There's like every game Caitlin played last year, it was a big headline. Like, oh, what's gonna happen here? The USA thing happened. Remember, she didn't get that, so there was always something going on. Paige is not too much. Like she's been hooping and it's kind of been under the radar a little bit. Caitlin averaged 17.6. She averaged 17.7. Caitlin averaged more assists, but she averaged more steals. She averaged a higher field goal percentage and less turnovers, which is all good. So You got to give credit where it's due. Now, here's another thing. Somebody made the coach comparison saying that, oh, well, Caitlin had Christy size. I mean, Paige's coach isn't that good either, if we're being honest. You know, I don't think the dude lasts past this year. This is one of my favorite Twitter accounts, Ken Swift. But he said Caitlin played 11 games in 20 days against the best teams in the league. 3 back-to-backs, 2, I believe. Paige is great, but not a fair comparison yet. I would agree with you because CC my favorite player to W. But you have to give credit where it's due. Paige been hooping. Now, she's nowhere near Caitlin's level. I'm not saying that. She's not messing with Caitlin Clark on anything. Someone said no excuses for how many games you play is basketball. That's what comes with basketball. Paige already looks better than your girl. I don't know about that one. Oh, great. Good to know. Looking forward to seeing Paige lead her team to the playoffs then. And that's another thing. If Paige ends up figuring out a way to bring Dallas from down, they're 2-11 right now. If she can get them to the playoffs after being 2-11, then we have to have a serious conversation. I think if you don't agree with that, then you're just being biased. We got to keep it real here. Like, I don't think the Wings make the playoffs. If the Wings somehow do make the playoffs this year, we got to have a serious conversation. The discussion has to be had at that point. And I think anybody could agree, but I don't think they make the playoffs. Somebody brought this up. They said early on, defenses responded by trapping Clark with both defenders more often than any other player in the league. Per second spectrum, defenses have blitzed 89 ball screens, twice as many as the next highest player. Clark's passing abilities generally produce good shots in those situations. They're dealing with like very different defensive coverages, but even that doesn't matter because a lot of people don't even watch the games like that. So even in that aspect, it don't really matter. We all know people at the end of the day, because most people don't even watch the games besides the Fever playing, people are going to go off what they see. And if you're going based off the numbers, even if you watch the games, I watch all the games or whatever. She's been right. It's been pretty, you know, it's a pretty good, it's not a crazy debate to have. Only thing that has Caitlin here and Paige right here right now is the fact that the Wings aren't going to the playoffs. They're trash. And I saw this too. It said most points per game in June. Cece had 26. Sabrina had 24. Paige has 23. Caitlin shooting 72%. Sabrina shooting 66. And Paige is shooting 59, which is good. But also keep in mind, this is Caitlin's second year. So I know people, you trying to bring up that discussion in my comment section. I can understand it. But regardless of anything, I still got Cece right now, if it was up to me. But it's a great debate. I mean, I think so far, it's not crazy to say so far, Paige has had the better rookie year so far. And I'm talking as far as like the amount of games Caitlin played up until the point last year versus the amount of games Paige has played. Overall player, I got Caitlin. I don't give, like, if I'm starting a team from scratch and you got to pick one player to start your franchise, I'm picking Caitlin Clark every time. Probably over any player, right? But If you're going based off the rookie stats so far, through the 9 games or whatever that stat was, you gotta get credit where it's due and give it to Paige. Another thing people brought up with Paige is video I saw, and they're saying that the Dallas should get rid of Arike and make Paige the face. And I'm not gonna lie, if you watch the games, I think Dallas is probably better off getting rid of Arike because they're just not compatible. Like Paige, I think Paige, you kind of have to have a similar rotation as you have with Caitlyn. You gotta plug in correct pieces. Arike, she gonna shoot 6 for 20. You might get lucky and she shoots over 50%, but she just gets the ball. She gonna do a bunch of dribbling, and it just kind of slows down the flow of Dallas offense. And another thing, I'm not saying their coach is good or bad or whatever the case may be, but you can tell he can't even run a lot of the sets he wants to run because like Arike, you watch their game, she'll get the ball and she just doing her own shit. And it fucks up the flow of their offense. But I'm gonna play this video.
With this team, I don't know if you're familiar with Stephen Curry. When he first got into the league, he was on the same team as Monte Ellis. Monte Ellis was like the star of the Golden State Warriors. And then you had a rookie come, Stephen Curry. And Monte Ellis is a great player, but the team decided to get rid of him, trade him to the Bucks, so Stephen Curry could be the star of the team. I don't know if the same thing will happen to the Wings, but I see a lot of people complaining about Arike and like her consistency, and I feel like Dallas has always been like not a great team. With Paige being there now, it kind of put like a magnifying glass on Arike's game, and like people could see like how sometimes she can be inconsistent. So I don't know. It's the same thing that happened. Maybe she'll get the Monte Ellis treatment.
Like I think people are now saying like, damn, she really takes hella shots. Like bro, you could literally go to her shooting, and Arike is a great player. I'm not saying she's not a good player. She's a really good player, but she just takes too many damn shots, bro. Like, and I know that shit. And that shit kind of messed up Paige early on before she had the concussion thing. She's shooting 35% from the field, 31% 3-point. And then if you're looking at the games, bro, it just goes down. This one game, she took 25 shots, 20 shots. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't think they could be a successful team like they want to be. And they have her and Paige as like the two, pieces. I think they should move her and try to find somebody that kind of fits better with Paige. Her shots be 3-pointers. And if Arike is playing bad, it's not like she's giving you something on defense. It's like, okay, it's okay. All right, she might have a bad shooting night, but on defense, she's going to do whatever. Like, if she's not hitting, it's over. You know what I'm saying? If she's not making shots, she's kind of like, she's damn near useless on the court. Like, there's no point of her being on the court. She's not hitting shots. She's not going to give you nothing on defense. Either her offensive game is going, or else you don't get nothing. I don't think long-term for Dallas is going to work like that. So, you got to find another guard that's more compatible. I don't think it's her. In my opinion. That's my opinion, though.
Minnesota Lynx dynasty was like everything to me when I was young. You just saw them winning, and it just created like a want to be a winner in me, and just wanting to be the best on the team, wanting to be the best in the state, wanting to ultimately be the best in the country, which then translated to me wanting to be the best teammate, best leader, best winner, because those are ultimately the things that matter the most and contribute to winning. And so there's been a lot of growth since that moment of just what I prioritize as important and how I compete and how I work to get better as a basketball player and as a human being.
Stating ACL injury, and you come back and end up as a champion. This is a difficult question, but I ask it intentionally because I think you giving this answer will help a lot of people who look up to you, Paige. What was your lowest point and how did you work through it?
Many would probably expect me to say my ACL. That was devastating. It was the most devastating thing, or one of them I had faced up to that point. And then the whole year I rehabbed, recovered, changed the way I ate, slept, took care of my body. And I changed a lot about myself to better prepare myself for the future, for a long career, to try to do my best to stay healthy. It's not under your control, but to do everything you can in your control to prevent those things. And then that summer, or the preseason, it was around September, like a couple weeks before the season started, I broke my thumb. And that truly was the most devastating one because I thought I had done everything right. I had trained my body, my mind, did everything right in terms of the rehab recovery process, and it was supposed to be my time. And then just taking a charge in practice, I had my hand like this, and it just broke. And I thought it was just going to be a jam thumb. I didn't even want to tell anybody about it, but like 2 weeks before the season, I broke my thumb, had surgery, and I was supposed to sit out, but I told them I'm not sitting out. Like, I've been through way too much. I don't even need my left thumb. I really don't even use my left hand. So God willing, they made a splint, a hard plastic cover for it in the games, and I had to wear it through like the first month of the season.
Damn, so she was playing the first month of the year with a broken thumb. That's pretty crazy. I never knew that.
But that was just so devastating because you had thought you'd done everything right and it was your time. No more bumps and no more roadblocks. But I do believe in my faith and everything happening for a reason. I think I was moving so fast during the preseason and the recovery process. I think I saved myself from something bigger. And so I look back and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for everything that's been a part of my journey. But I think that was probably the most devastating one. And probably people are like, it was just a broken thumb, but it was everything leading up to it. And still hasn't really sunk into me. It's still an everyday thing that you can wake up and be like, maybe we won a national championship together. So it's better than you could ever dream of. And it's still like sometimes I gotta pinch myself. Yeah, it's just an exciting time in Dallas right now.
Y'all know what's crazy about the Dallas thing? Bro, the fact that the Dallas Wings and the Mavs both got the #1 pick, pretty crazy to me. It said Paige Bueckers leading the WNBA in assists with only 2 turnovers per game is not talked about enough. I don't think this is accurate. Oh, someone beat me to it. It says she's not, though. Caitlin was out for 5 games, so she hasn't hit the threshold to be on there. Caitlin has about 3.5 more. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but Caitlin doesn't qualify like now because she's been out. But she's going, she just keep playing how she been playing. She about to watch that shit in a couple games. And you know the thing about Caitlin too, bro. She done broken so many records. It's like she's breaking a new record every game. So it's pretty crazy. But nonetheless, man, both players are having great years so far. I wish Dallas. I hope Dallas is good enough to get in the playoffs. It'll be great for women's basketball in general, not just because, I feel like those debates will happen either way. Well, if they don't make the playoffs, that kind of, it's one thing. But I feel like those debates will happen either way. But, I think it'll be good for just women's hoops in general. But I look forward to when the Wings play the Fever. Of course, I got the Fever. But Paige been playing great. You got to give credit where it's due. Paige been playing good. But let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section. And as always, it's your boy.